welcome back to this fabulous channel. Welcome back to the City of Sin. If you are new to the channel or stopping in for your first time, my name is Ryan. I will be your host for all of these epic adventures. But today we're over by the pool area here in MGM Grand, Las Vegas. I'm going to show you guys through MGM on today. It's June the 4th today, about 12:30 p.m. in the afternoon. So I'm going to take you guys on this quick walking tour for the reopening, day one of Vegas reopening. So I hope you guys enjoy this walking tour. I have plenty of other videos scheduled and planned for this adventure. So I hope you guys enjoy these reopening tour videos as we're finally able to step foot inside of these casinos, which we've been waiting for so long. So over on my left-hand side is the Grand Garden Arena tickets. So if you're trying to get tickets to the Grand Garden Arena, which will be up further here on our right-hand side, that's where you will get it. A lot of these little shops and stuff are still closed, like Quicksilver, this clothing shop over to my right, is actually closed. The Hunger Games exhibit over on my left is actually open. Some of these restaurants are not fully open, but they do have very limited menu items. So take that into consideration when you're coming here to this fabulous city. As you can see directly straight ahead of us here, this will take you down to the MGM Grand Garden Arena. So if you're here to see any fights or anything like that, typically that's where they will be held. This Blizzard is actually open over here. Heco in Mexico is not actually open just quite yet, but they do have an entrance to the monorail if you saw it back over there to the left-hand side. So if you're back here and you want to get to the monorail, you can get to the monorail from that little station there. However, the monorail on this particular adventure is still closed. It's not actually open and running for business just quite yet. One would assume that the monorail should be opening up soon to transport passengers up and down Las Vegas Boulevard. It's a pretty quick, easy, convenient way. As you can notice, this is the food court here. There are a few places that are still closed, like this taco restaurant over on my left. But the interesting thing enough is to notice on the floor, they have little footprints of where you should be standing. So the Chicken Tenders place is closed. Pan Asian Express is actually open right now. Nathan's Famous Hot Dogs is open. Johnny Rockets straight ahead of us is open. And then just after Johnny Rockets is Banano's New York Pizzeria, which is open. Absolutely delicious, but I did burn my mouth a little bit earlier today on the pizza. It was super hot, so take that into consideration if you're eating there. They put it right in the oven, pull it straight out of the oven and give it to you. So let it cool down for a little bit. Don't make the same mistake that I did and burn the hell out of your mouth by trying to eat that as soon as it came out of the oven. But interesting enough, you'll see these little footprints, like I said, on the floor all over this resort and casino. I have been impressed and I've been disappointed as well. So I will talk about being impressed. I've been thoroughly impressed with MGM's efforts to try and keep guests safe. They have these little footprints, entrance only and exit only on the elevator banks. So I thought that that was a really good idea to try and limit traffic so it only goes one way. To kind of make it a little bit easier for them to secure and make it easier for us as residents and guests in this resort. So that is one thing that I was thoroughly impressed about. The one thing that I wasn't impressed about is there seems to be a lack of social distancing here in MGM Grand, especially when I was here when the doors first opened. Like the line, even though they offered, and it's been available for a long time to be able to check in through the MGM app, a lot of people were still standing in line to try and check in like you traditionally would at a hotel or casino, which was kind of alarming for me because a lot of these guests were not wearing masks. Some did, some didn't. They did have EMT that would check your temperature when you're going to check into the hotel to make sure that you weren't running too hot. A few of these places actually did temperature scans as you walk in the door. As you guys see, there's tons of security here in Las Vegas because of all the protests. So let's talk about that for a second. Right now, these Las Vegas casinos and resorts are safe. They have a CERT team, they have normal security, plus they have uniformed Las Vegas Metro police officers in here. However, I can't say the same for venturing out on the boulevard at night. What I would do is I would limit that, because when I did go out there, there were some protesters and things like that. It seemed to be peaceful, nothing really crazy going on, but usually when things like that are going down, I try and avoid it just because too many people, the possibility of getting infected with coronavirus is simply there. My heart goes out to George Floyd and his family. It's absolutely a tragedy what happened to that poor man, and nobody should have to suffer through that. So now that we've discussed that, it is safe inside these resorts. However, venturing out after nightfall with all the protests that were currently going on, I wouldn't recommend it, but you can certainly do so. I don't think you're going to be in any immediate danger, but it's always something to be on the realm of caution. I'd rather have to keep you guys safe than set you up for failure and put you guys in a situation that you weren't aware of. So like I said, I'm always going to be real on this channel. I'm never going to lie to you about current events or what's going on in Las Vegas, so you guys can make your own educated decision. But that is one thing to take into consideration. So over on my right, this is where the High Limit Lounge is here at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. I'm going to take you over to the left, kind of show you the hotel lobby. Like I said, with the uniformed Metro officers, here's two more coming up on the right. We just saw three going down towards the food court, so there's tons of police presence here. The yellow shirts, like you see, are all security. So this is day one right now. The filming seems to be pretty lax. Nobody's really kind of getting on you for filming or saying that you can't do that. From what I've noticed, I've pretty much had free reign to do whatever I'd want here in these fabulous cities in Las Vegas, or here through these fabulous casinos, I should say, in Las Vegas. So that's been a plus. I would have anticipated that they would have been getting to that, or allowing people to film so it can drive the interest of the public and get people coming back to MGM Grand to get the interest re-sparked and everything like that. The Essential Shop is over to the right. It is probably one of the biggest ones I've ever seen here in Las Vegas. There's one over by the elevator banks, which was currently closed. As you can see, the famous MGM Lion standing right there at the entrance to greet you into this fabulous casino. Straight ahead of me there, if you see the gentleman wearing the mask, that's actually EMT. He will scan your temperature just to make sure that you are good to go before they allow you into the check-in line with the other guests. So I will loop back around. We'll kind of work our way back towards the Las Vegas Boulevard here and take you up towards that. So on my left-hand side, there is a Starbucks there. Directly straight ahead of us here as well, there is a Starbucks further down the way. So over to my right is where you would turn to go to your elevator banks, and followed by that on the right is also the lobby bar. Over on my left-hand side, they do have restrooms that are open over there. There are a few restrooms that are currently closed to try and limit the cleaning areas for the hotel staff to make sure that everybody's safe. As you can see with some of these machines over on my right, they are deactivated. They do have a sticker on the center of the screen that says this machine is currently not in play, and they've actually removed chairs to avoid guests from sitting down at those machines and being too close. Over to my right, you do see this hand washing station. They set up quite a few of those here within this resort, so you guys can see that. A bunch of table games going on right now. Over on my left, that is a craps table that's actually playing. Over to my right, that is a blackjack table over there. And then further on my right here is a roulette table. So blackjack, roulette, craps are open, so if you want to check that out, you certainly can. Like I said, that Starbucks that was straight ahead of us earlier, that's going to be over to our right now, and that one is currently closed. But the one by the lobby where you go to check in is still currently open. The bar over on my left, I can't remember what the name of it is, but that one is currently open with limited seating available. I've seen a lot of these electronic craps, electronic blackjack games to be extremely popular in this pandemic. From what I've noticed, I've seen a lot more people on those than what you would actually see at the actual table itself, which is interesting enough. The casino bar is actually open over on my right over there, and then the cash cage and where you claim your M rewards is going to be over on the left hand side. They have a bunch of table gaming throughout the center of this, and this will take you over to where the buffet here is at MGM Grand. Now, as you all know, all the shows, the buffets, those are still currently closed until further notice. Once they do decide to put an opening date for these, I'll definitely be back to film some of the buffets, some of the shows and things like that. Now, shows are strictly prohibited for filming, but I have a little trick up my sleeve to get some filming coming out of that. The professional audio is going to be the problem that we're going to run into, I think, more often than not. I have noticed that most of these games seem to be a little bit stricter. They don't want to play as much as one would anticipate with the grand reopening. Usually you would think if you turn the machines up so they start paying the guests, that the guests would be talking, oh, I want a bunch of money here, go check that place out, go gamble in there, because they're actually paying. Well, I have seen a few people hit a few hand pays in MGM Grand here in the beginning for the reopening. Literally within an hour or two, I saw people hitting jackpot hand pays. Which was my goal and my intention, but so far haven't hit anything. Hopefully this trip will be awesome. Over to the right was the buffet here. Over to my left where tap is, that used to be the lion exhibit. So if you remember, the lion exhibit actually was closed January the 31st of 2011. But if you remember that, if you're old school and you remember this famous resort from back then, that's where they used to have the live lion exhibit here at MGM Grand. Over to my right, we just kind of cruise past the sports book, so when I get on the other side here, I'll show you a little bit more of the sports book. They do have show tickets available for sale right here at this counter. This essential shop is open, but with limited hours. I think that essential shop is usually closed at like 9 o'clock when I walked by there last time. So just take a heads up and take a notice, because not all these places are fully operational at the hours that they normally would operate in when it was normal, I guess, compared to the pandemic that we're currently facing. So this Bananos Pizzeria up here is actually closed. So is this restaurant by the sports book. And then over to my right, the sports book is actually open. They do have the odds up for football and everything like that, so you can start to bet on the Super Bowl already. So that's already ready to go. Like I said, these restrooms are closed down here. Bananos Pizzeria is closed. And then this arcade bar right over here. If you remember, this used to be the old Rainforest Cafe here at the MGM Grand. I still miss the Rainforest Cafe being here at the MGM Grand. I thought it should have never left, but hey, I'm not one to make the choices or make the decisions here. But I just wanted to take you guys on a quick walking tour through the MGM Grand here in Las Vegas, so I hope you all enjoyed this quick walking tour. I just wanted to say a huge thank you to all my Patreon supporters. Without your help, some of these videos would not be possible, so thank you so much for showing your continued support. Thank you to all of you for taking your time to watch these videos. Be sure to share these videos with your friends and family. Be sure to like the videos and subscribe if you have not already done so. But as always, guys, my name is Ryan. I will be your fabulous host through this epic city of sin and all these walking tours. But until next time.